How would you like to sit and have a drink with the great director Sam Peckinpah? Do me a favor. Ask him what he thinks about what happens when the West dies and its heroes refuse to ride off into the sunset. He just might mention today's movie. Welcome back to Review Lens. The Wild Bunch, released in 1969, is director Sam Peckinpah's bullet-laced goodbye to the mythic cowboy. It's rugged, brutal, and revolutionary. A film that shattered the clean-cut Western once and for all. Released the same year as The Moon Landing and Woodstock, The Wild Bunch feels ancient and modern at once. Fading outlaws dragged into a world that doesn't want them anymore. I was in the 10th grade, and I never got to see this in a theater. So let's break it down the Review Lens way. Cast, context, and impact. We open on a gritty Texas border town in 1913. A gang of aging outlaws, led by Pike Bishop, prepares for one last score. But everything's changing around them. Cars are replacing horses, industrial weapons replacing six-shooters, and codes of honor are getting swallowed up by institutions. William Holden plays Pike with weary authority. Best known in the 1950s for suave roles in Sunset Boulevard and Stalag 17, here Holden is older, grizzled, and full of regret. His face tells you he's seen too much, sold out too many times, and still wants to believe in something, anything, before the end. Next to him is Dutch Engstrom, played by Ernest Borgnine. Dutch is Pike's right hand, fiercely loyal, occasionally explosive. Borgnine, an Oscar winner for Marty, brings heart and rage. Their chemistry feels real, like two men who've lived out of saddlebags for 2 decades and still have each other's back even when the bullets start flying. And then there's Robert Ryan as Deke Thornton, the ex-member of the bunch turned bounty hunter, now chasing down his old friends under threat from railroad bosses. Ryan brings guilt and grit. Deke's not a sellout by choice, he's just stuck playing for the side that won. The tragedy is, he understands Pike better than anyone else alive, and may actually be the only one who cares about how he goes out. Now let's talk about the supporting cast. My 2 favorite character actors, Warren Oates and Ben Johnson, play the Gorch brothers, 2 hard-talking, hard-drinking cowboys who ride on charm and gunpowder. Oates crackles with manic energy. Johnson plays it quiet and dangerous. These 2, by the way, were real-life cowboys. Johnson even won a rodeo world title before Hollywood came calling. And then there's Edmund O'Brien, nearly unrecognizable under that wild gray beard and whiskey breath, as Sykes, the bunch's gravel-voiced scout and philosopher. He's funny, fierce, and completely addicted to the idea that the code still means something, even if the country doesn't. Now let's talk blood. The Wild Bunch is infamous for its violence, and that's on purpose. The final shootout, often called the Orgy of Blood, lasts nearly 5 minutes. Peckinpah choreographs it with slow motion, cross-cutting, and a grim sense of purpose. He wasn't glorifying violence, he was forcing audiences to actually look at it. No more heroic shootouts, just sprayed bullets, bystanders dying, and men falling, not flying. That final scene changed American cinema forever. Peckinpah called it bullet ballet, but it wasn't just style, it was his critique of global carnage, especially in Vietnam. Don't miss that echo. Deke Thornton literally says, "We're after men, and I wish to God I was with them." The actor chemistry, the layered group dynamics, none of it works without that feeling of inevitable doom. Let's talk about themes. The Wild Bunch is about the collapse of personal codes in a corrupt modern world. Nothing is sacred anymore. Not loyalty, not the land, not the law. The bunch aren't noble. They murder, rob, and threaten. But they're human. They still believe in each other. The Western myth here is about men trying to reconcile with a world that no longer wants them. They're not heroes. They're not entirely villains. They're relics, with guts, but no future. And yet, this movie wasn't loved right away. When it premiered at the Cannes Festival in 1969, it caused a serious stir. Critics split between brilliant and irresponsible. But years changed everything. Filmmakers like Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, and John Woo called it essential. Its weapon choreography influenced everything from Saving Private Ryan to Heat to The Matrix. Here's bonus trivia. Peckinpah reportedly rehearsed the final shootout for over 10 days. The production used more than 90,000 rounds of blank ammunition, with multiple cinematographers shooting from all angles. Scenes that would have been done in 5 cuts were done in 60. Another fun fact, the kids in the prologue scene, the ones watching the scorpions and ants tear each other apart, were Peckinpah's metaphor for his own audience, watching violence unfold while silently enjoying it. He was showing us. Today, if you ask seasoned critics for greatest westerns ever made, The Wild Bunch is always on that list, and often near the top 10. This isn't a sunset ride. This is Samson pulling down the temple. Honor shredded, guns drawn, nobody walks away clean. It's Peckinpah. So, what about The Wild Bunch? How did you like the final gunfight scene? Y'all let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reviews and deep dives into great movies. As always, see you on the next one. Save us a balcony seat and extra butter on the popcorn.